Welcome to the first video in 15 tips to effective speaking. So often, many of us have to stand up and just say our name, whether it's a 30-second intro or whether we have to stand up and give a presentation. It is sometimes the scariest thing we ever do. You might even take the bravest person who seems like they have great confidence, and then when they have to stand up in front of a group of people, their heart starts to beat, their hands start to sweat, and they feel their knees a-knocking. All right, so whether you're a singer or whether you're on stage, whether you present programs at your office, just in a board meeting, these are some effective tips for you when you go to speak. First of all, many times when we go out to speak, we are in a group of people we don't know and we've never seen before. So my first tip out of 5 tips today is learning to dress professionally. And guys, that means you too. You know, we live in a time where we like to be comfortable, and whether we like a lot of color in our clothes or whether we like no color in our clothes, when we go to speak in front of a group of people, we first have to think about, who am I speaking in front of? Like, if I'm speaking in front of a bunch of teenagers, I don't have to have quite the professional wear and look so stiffy in front of teenagers as I do if I'm going to a very professional meeting. So you first want to think about what kind of meeting you're going to, and then think about how they would dress, and then you want to dress up a notch. You never want to be like too overdressed, but it's better to be overdressed than not. And so quite often, you know, for ladies, dresses, pantsuits, jackets, a nice dress, you know, that kind of thing. For men, you know, a good pair of khakis. It doesn't have to be a suit, but it might be a good pair of khakis, a good matching shirt, and a jacket. And if you have trouble matching your clothes up, I'm thinking about the guys. If you have trouble matching up your clothes, get somebody to help you pick out 5 or 6 well-matched outfits. Because let me say, the first thing that you're judged by as a speaker is how you look. So, you know, is your haircut? You know, ladies, do you wear a little jewelry or too much jewelry or not enough of things? Your outfit, the color of your outfit, like I said before. So all those things are important, and make sure your clothes match. I had a granddaughter come out the other day, and she had 3 different designs on. I was like, whoa, because I'm a person that I really pay attention to those things. I don't mean to, I just can't help it, because I see what matches and what doesn't. So the number one thing to start with is dress professionally. Look your best. Maybe you don't always like being dressed up that much, but look your best. They'll remember you for how you looked to begin with. Number 2, as you start to do a presentation, you know, we get nervous, like I said, and the best thing that you can do for those nerves are 2 things. Take a cleansing breath and blow out slowly. I'm actually a singer, and that is something I learned that helped me whenever I would be nervous getting ready to sing in front of others. So a nice deep breath, it might take 2 or 3, not fast. Nice and slow, letting that air out. A second thing that helped me is to stop thinking about myself. Yeah, that's hard, isn't it? Don't be thinking about yourself, but to be thinking about what you're presenting to the people and what you're going to do for them. Because once you get your eyes off of yourself and onto the other people, it's like you forget yourself. Isn't that great? And you start to present and focus on what you're going to share. The third thing is you want to make sure that your presentation has bullet points, you know, or if you're using a PowerPoint. I love using a PowerPoint because I can have just enough on the PowerPoint with the pictures, I like pictures, that it keeps me on track for what I'm sharing. So you want to have bullet points. I like to print things really big and far apart when I'm going to share, so that my eye can glance over and catch it, and then it gives me, you know, the direction I'm supposed to be going. Or like I said, PowerPoints are awesome, and they are not hard to use and not even hard to make. If you can't do it, there's a virtual secretary. I know in Peachtree City, there's a virtual secretary that will help you with those things. So you can contact me and I'll steer you towards them. But if you can't make your PowerPoint, find somebody who will do that for you, and it gives you a beautiful professional presentation. So bullet points are good. Now here's one: speed. Are you methodical or are you Speedy Gonzalez? And there's an in between for everything, because if you are too methodical, then your people who are fast thinkers go past you so quickly, they quickly get bored unless you have awesome material you are sharing and they need that material. And on the other hand, if you are Speedy Gonzalez, it's good to hear a quick speaker, but at some point, if they speak quickly for a long period of time, it sounds like na 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 na, and you get tired of listening to it. So it's finding your spot right in the middle and keeping a good speed, not too fast and not too slow. And the fifth thing is, let's see if I can read it without my glasses. Oh, tone of voice. Tone of voice. So if you talk with no reflection, which is really hard for me to do, if you talk with no reflection, like you're reading a book and you're just, if you're reading your notes and you're not adding any reflection, it gets really boring. Tone of voice. Some people talk really, really low. I don't know how low I could go, but they talk really low. And so they need to purposely raise their pitch. So maybe go in front of the mirror and raise your pitch up a little bit and find that sweet spot, because people have trouble hearing really low, and it just kind of like suddenly they'll just not hear you anymore. And at the same point, if you talk really high, I remember the first time I put a message on a voice machine way back when, as I listened to it, because I am fast speaking and evidently a little high pitched and I was excited, then I listened to that voice message and I was like, oh my gosh. I had to do it over and over and over as I continued to slow down and change my pitch and lower my pitch. So it's important not to speak too high. That can get irritating, like a cartoon, and not too low. And so that's your first 5 tips of the 15 on speaking effectively. 15 tips on speaking effectively, and you just got 5 of them. You should listen to all of them and then go back to them and think about the top 3 that you want to do, or maybe take the top 2 out of what you heard today, according to how much experience you have in speaking, right? Because if you have no experience in speaking, you may have to start with 1 or 2, or record yourself and ask somebody else which couple that you need to work on. I love to have a partner to collaborate with and that will share with me my pros and my cons, or pointers. That could be called a mentor, somebody who can help you recognize things that you don't recognize yourself. And so that's the first 5 of our 15 tips on effective speaking.